Hi, hello, welcome to my reselling channel, Flippin Hippos. I'm Star. Today's Tuesday. We typically do tutorials on Tuesday, and this is going to be a different type of tutorial. Now, it's no secret that I love to live in my pajamas. I always have pajamas on. In fact, I have them on in this video down here. I don't like to leave the house very often. I'm not a big fan of shopping or thrifting, but I am a reseller and I do need inventory. I find some of my favorite buys online. So today I'm going to talk about 10 websites where you can source inventory without ever leaving your couch. And then I have some honorable mentions as well. So we're going to cover 10 online places to source inventory. And then next Tuesday, I will go over 10 more conventional places out in the community, out and about, that you can get inventory. But when I was putting these videos together, I said, I got to start with the online first. I got to start with shopping in your pajamas because that is what I'm known for. So I'm going to go through all 10 and tell you what they are and what you can kind of look for and find on each one, and then go through the honorable mentions at the end. And then in the comment section, if you have further questions or you need to know where to find a website, or you would even like the list typed out for you guys, I can do that. Just let me know. So we're going to talk about Facebook Marketplace first. Everyone knows about Facebook Marketplace. It's a good place to source inventory. You can find free items on there. Moving sales, estate sales, bulk lots, curb alerts, people clearing out their closets. Now, this will require you to leave the house most of the time, but the initial shopping and looking for the items you can do from the comfort of your home in your pajamas. But a lot of times, especially with like the free items and the moving sales, you will need to leave the house to go get it. So Facebook Marketplace is kind of like a hybrid, but some people do shipping. So if you're looking for a bulk lot of DVDs or comic books, you might be able to find someone that will ship it. When you're on Facebook Marketplace, you want to search for terms like lot, bundle, moving, must go, pick up today. And that's how you're going to find your best deals. Craigslist. What? Are we back in 1998? Craigslist is still a gold mine for a lot of things. You can find estate sales, garage sales. There's a free section. There's bulk inventory. There's huge, big buys. Now, this is going to be like Facebook, where you can look through it at home, but you're going to be required to leave the house if you want to pick up any of these items you find on Craigslist. I would be remiss if I didn't add right here, please absolutely always be careful and be safe when you are meeting strangers from online, both Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Please always meet up in public. If you can meet at a police station, that's even better. A lot of police stations encourage that and have spots where people can meet to safely exchange money and items in front of a camera at a police station. That's probably the best. And I know a lot of people do pickups at their house. I would not recommend that. If you do it, you don't need to defend yourself in the comments to me. I just never would. I watch too much true crime, and not for me. So I always encourage everyone, meet in public, meet at a police station. That's probably the safest. Okay, so those are the two that you can find a lot of stuff, but you might have to leave the house to get it. Unless you can get them to come to your house, but that kind of goes back to what I just said. I wouldn't want them in my house, but maybe you're comfortable with that. So the third one is shopgoodwill.com. This is a really good source for jewelry lots, vintage clothing, electronics, collectibles, shoes. I've seen huge DVD lots, Lego lots. The jewelry is really good. I already mentioned it, but it bears repeating. Shopgoodwill.com has a lot of good items. You just want to be very mindful when you're selecting where you're shopping from. You can choose Goodwills in your area and go pick up the items, which requires leaving the house, or you can have them shipped to you. And on the heels of that, I should mention that Goodwill also has bluebox.com. That's also run by Goodwill, where you can get bulk items that are shipped to you. And they have a variety of items on there, a variety of items. They have boxes of Legos, boxes of comics, boxes of jeans. They restock every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. You could check out Blue Box then to see what they have restocked. But you can shop on shopgoodwill.com all the time because there's always new auctions and new things to buy. eBay lots. So there are a lot of sellers and resellers who unload inventory in bulk. So you can go on eBay and search for clothing lots, jewelry jars, craft lots, toy lots, store buyouts. If you are a crafter, the craft lots are really nice because you can kind of get it and then pick it apart and sell some items individually. And then what isn't viable, you can sell your own craft lot. It's the same with the jewelry jars. You can dig out what you can sell, and then you can sell what's left over in a junk jewelry for crafting or DIY. I do really well with those. A lot of people do on Etsy and all the other platforms too. Some of the best deals on eBay are from other resellers who are just trying to get rid of their inventory very quickly. So don't be shy about going on there and looking for lots and stuff. I guess I would have to add one note here. A lot of people that I know that do their sourcing on eBay have a separate eBay account. They don't want their seller account to be associated with what they're buying. So they have a separate, like, private account that they do their buying from. So that's not part of their feedback and their history and everything on their selling account. That's totally a personal option. I do it. I kind of like to keep the two separate. The only exception is when I use my coupon every quarter that eBay gives us for free shipping supplies. I purchase that from our main account because that's where the coupon code is. But that's just something to think about. Okay, number 5 is my personal new favorite place to source. It's Whatnot. I love Whatnot. Resellers are on there getting rid of so much stuff. A lot of the sellers that buy the huge store buyouts, the wholesale lots, the bulk buys, they're on there selling it really cheap. They run auctions from $1 to $3, jewelry, clothes, plush, you name it. They have very low starting bids. And if you can catch someone who's doing a clearance or clear out or at the very end of their show or during a marathon event, I have like a list here of items that I have found on there that do really well. Jewelry, plush, clothing, collectibles, mixed lots. I have friends who go on there for cards, like collectible cards. I would say anything on Whatnot is very viable to source there. Number 6 is HiBid. This is a local auction. This is a site that has thousands of local auctions listed online. And you can find estate sale leftovers there, storage units, jewelry, antiques, and household goods. Depending on what you're looking for, HiBid can be a really good source, but sometimes it can be not so much a good source. I think just from my experience and the resellers that I talk to on a regular basis, my friends, we do better on the Goodwill, shopgoodwill.com, than we do on HiBid. And that leads us to Max Sold. This is a website where estate sales are conducted almost entirely online. This is great for people who like to do home decor, vintage, kitchenware, and collectibles. We've got OfferUp as number 8. Depending on where you live in your area, on OfferUp, you can find bulk clothing, electronics, furniture, toys, and free items. Number 9 is Mercari. What? Mercari is a really good place to source. There are sellers on there that are cleaning out their homes, downsizing their inventory. Maybe they changed their niche and they just load it all in and they don't worry about the current resale value. You can get bundle discounts, closet cleanouts, jewelry lots, brand specific searches on items people are selling lower than the eBay. So there's lots of room for profit. And number 10 is the Nextdoor app. Nextdoor is often overlooked. It's a good way to find what people are giving away for free and sometimes selling. You can find clothing, furniture, toys, decor, and estate leftovers. So that's the Nextdoor app. And then I have some honorable mentions here. We have Poshmark. There's closet clear out and bundle deals on there. Depop. So on Depop, a lot of folks price their items pretty low, and you can find a lot of really great vintage and Y2K clothing priced low enough that there's a lot of meat on the bone and room for profit. And that brings us to Vinted. Again, on that app, a lot of people price items low. You can find really great items on there at a good low cost that you can then turn around and flip on eBay for higher prices or right on the Poshmark. And if you find the vintage and the Y2K items on Depop and Vinted, you can turn around and flip them on Etsy. So those are two good websites to source on. Speaking of Etsy, that is where I get 99% of the costume jewelry that I sell. I buy a bulk lot from Whistle Pig Market, and I think I pay like $6 a pound when I buy the biggest box and use my code, which you can use too, by the way. If you're in the market for jewelry, Whistle Pig Market on Etsy has bulk boxes of wearable costume jewelry, silver tone jewelry, gold tone jewelry, watches, and sometimes she has a couple of other different types of boxes. She offers anything from 1 pound up to like 10 pounds, sometimes 15. At checkout, if you use code HIPPO, HIPPO, you can get 20% off. Now, I'm not affiliated. I don't make any money when you guys use the code, but if she sees that the code is being used and it's viable, she'll keep it active and we all can benefit from it. But back to Etsy being a good place to source, I get all my costume jewelry there really, really affordable. You can also find craft lots, vintage items, supplies. Etsy is a good place to shop too. And if you didn't notice throughout this entire video, I have pretty well mentioned every platform that I sell on as a place for us to also be sourcing. I've mentioned eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, Mercari, Whatnot, Vinted, and Depop. And I sell on ThredUp, or at least I listed one item there and I'm supposed to be working it into my routine. But ThredUp is going to be a place where I'm going to be listing more items. I source on there as well, and it is an honorable mention. ThredUp has really great rescue boxes. I've been buying their denim rescue boxes since 2018, and I have always loved them. I have always gotten great stuff. Let's knock on wood. I just love ThredUp's rescue boxes. You don't have to get jeans or denim. They have other options. They're often sold out, and Wednesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern are the best 2 days, and those time windows are the best times to check in. That's when a lot of their boxes get refreshed. But I love ThredUp. I love Whatnot, ThredUp, Vinted, and Depop. Probably the best, but I say that and I buy all my jewelry on Etsy, or at least 99% of it. So don't overlook the sites that you're selling on as a place to source. There's government surplus auction sites as well. There's liquidation marketplaces, university surplus sales, B-stock platforms, direct auction websites from local auction houses in your area. Of course, you'll have to get on Google and do a little bit of research yourself, but you can find local auction houses in your area. And then there are estate sale companies that do online sales in your area. Again, you'll have to do a little bit of research. But some of my favorite inventory comes from online. Now, I am kind of getting addicted to these local church sales around here, but those aren't going to be all year, especially in a place like Pittsburgh where we get really cold in the winter. I believe October is the last month that the church sale is running, and then I have to wait till March. So all of these online places are really great place to source when it's that time of year where there's not really yard sales, garage sales, or church sales. And if you live in an area like me where it can get really cold or the roads are icy or snowy and you just don't want to leave the house, this is a really great way to keep sourcing in those winter months or all year if you're like me and you don't really like to leave the house. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything you saw in this video or you want further information, or if you have something to add, an online site that you'd be willing to share with everybody, comment section, put it all down there. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel because it helps me feed my hungry hippos. And I will see you in the next one.